Hey guys, Seafood Les Clements here. Black Dragon Kung Fu, back in the Star Chamber. So this is gonna be a little talk on balancing the elements in the body. So what happens when these elements start to come together? Okay? There's a difference in the external and the internal, and I'll break them down. Okay, so external is when we become dependent on outer things. Internal is when we become dependent on ourselves and only ourselves. There's some situations we cannot control, but we can always control ourselves in those situations. That's the hard part. That is why I train Kung Fu, so that I can know that I can be at my best in situations where I don't have as much control. Okay, that's a high objective to have, and it takes a lot of work, but that's kind of how it does work. So you hear this talk about moving into 5D consciousness. You hear about this in like meditation circles and things like that. And what they're really talking about is moving into fifth elemental balance. So the body becomes fifth element, right? The golden cube that I was talking about. They're talking about the same thing. So when I say electromagnetizing the body by charging the elements and balancing the elements in the body, that is also 5D, because that is the fifth dimension when you balance it. So our existence happens within a series of overlapping dimensions. Okay, so that is a whole different subject, but let's just say the third and the fourth and the fifth dimensions can run together, right? So the air element, the earth element, the water element, the fire element are all not only compositions that make up our body, but they are vast realms, they are dimensions, entire dimensions apart from our physical bodies, different planes of existence. Hence the term elemental plane of water, elemental plane of fire. You'll see this in some video games, you'll see this in some movies, Harry Potter, all this stuff. It's rooted in truth with the elements. So balancing the body is the bridge to the heavens, or the gateway to the stars is what the ancients would say. So balancing the body, transforming the body through the elements. Transformation by air is sublimation, hence the term sublimate the mind. Transformation by water, dissolution. Transformation by fire, calcination. Transformation by earth, coagulation. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways that we can transform and work with these elements, and we find what works and what doesn't. Are we gonna blunder? Absolutely. Life is a school, and this type of knowledge is a constant class. We don't want to miss class. So meaning, we don't want to slack off on drinking our water, because then we're not paying attention to what the snake might be telling us. Your body is dehydrated. The snake rules the water element, right? So we listen to this snake. Now, someone could say, well, there's no snake. That's crazy. That's like talking to aliens. You know, it's kind of funny that a lot of people that are really religious laugh at the idea of talking to aliens when they pray. So let's just say those are a lot closer together than a lot of people want to admit. But I'm not really even talking about that. What I'm talking about is if you can pray to an external source, you can also go inside, and there are everything you can imagine outside is inside. So we are interdimensional creatures. So inside us is everything. It's an infinite interdimensional universe. The leopard, the snake, the crane, the tiger, the dragon, they're all inside, as well as everything and anything else you can imagine. All the deities around the world, archetypes that can be found deep inside the soul, which is interdimensional. If you don't believe in a soul, that's okay. Think of it in terms of energy, because that's really what it is. There's a lot of indoctrination that has happened that has blinded people to their own power. And as a student of Kung Fu and elemental alchemy, I'm really, really enjoying being able to share this knowledge and seeing it help people. So anyway, the elements, when they become balanced in the body, we've talked about what happens. The body takes on a charge, right? So we can recognize when we're stuck in a certain element. Maybe we're too sedentary, we've been pulled into earth, we need fire, we need to puff that flame. So once again, when I talked about the leopard, right, puffing the flame, low fire, no drive, no motivation, sedentary, zero motivation to do anything. I've met plenty of people in this position. I've been there too, okay? Depression, a water imbalance. If you take someone who is very depressed, and if you could get them to really push a workout, an intense workout where their cardio is blowing open, they're forced to work, their muscles are burning, give them some water after a good rest, they will be less depressed. Exercise nukes depression. Okay, there's fear. And I understand depression is a very real thing that a lot of people have. It could also be said that it's really just unhappiness and depression is a word. I don't want to get into that debate. To me, either way, if you don't feel good and you feel down, exercise can fix that problem. Because like I said, exercise nukes depression, right? So we have the fire element. If the fire is too low, then we have no fire, no motivation. If the fire is too high, anger, passions that are out of control, chasing pleasures, water. If the water is chemically balanced, we'll be calm, we'll be fine. If the water is poisoned, we'll be feeling bad. If the water is too cold, we'll be feeling depressed. If the water is too warm, we'll be feeling too emotional. So all of these temperaments are different. If earth is not in place, very stubborn. If earth is right, balanced, very nurturing. So all of this stuff, we're training our bodies to develop the choice into giving or taking. And do we give or do we take? Which is better? The question is, are you serving others or are you serving yourself? Well, both. I disagree with serving others. It is a good idea. It sounds good, ultimately, but we cannot serve others unless we are up to par and we serve ourselves. So when you are all that you can be, you benefit from you and everyone else benefits from you. It's not you giving, other people are benefiting and you are not. That's not how it works. Our world is very transactional, and to give without receiving anything, try it, see how it works out for you. This is the power of the elements. So we're turning ourselves into an oasis that we can benefit from, greatly enrich our lives, and everyone else gets to benefit from it too. There's not really any taking because it's too much to take. If someone is thirsty, they can't drink the entire ocean. There's just too much. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe, even better. Sifu Les Clements, over and out. See you next time.